While cleaning out the shed this spring, I found this wrought iron candle holder that I bought for a project and never used. So first thing I did was I grabbed a skull and ripped the jaw off. This candle holder has like a little spike on it to hold the candle, so I just drilled a hole in the skull and just pushed it down on there to get it to sit where I wanted it. What I'm going to build here is a skull candle that'll sit on the shelves behind me. And I have about 14 inches to work with. I pulled out my tape measure and just got a rough idea of how long I wanted to cut this candle. So I grabbed this 2-inch piece of PVC and cut off about 8 inches. After I figured out how I wanted this candle to sit, I just grabbed a marker and traced the pipe on the skull. And this will just give me a reference point of what I need to cut out. And if you're looking to do a project like this, you don't have to use a candle holder. You could use like an old stack of books or just a block of wood. Or even just the skull by itself could be a candle holder that sits on your table. So just using my Dremel tool, I just slowly went around, made sure I cut inside the line of the circle that I drew. Now that the circle was cut out, I grabbed my Dremel tool again with the sanding bit and just took off that final little bit to make the pipe fit. Took a couple of times of, putting the pipe up there and make sure it would slip in. You want like a tight fit on it. When the pipe was in there, I just assembled it real quick and decided that I didn't really like how tall the candle was. So I pulled it back out and cut off a few inches. And to cut this pipe, I was using my oscillating tool, but you could easily just use a handsaw, hacksaw, whatever you have. And cutting off that couple inches, to me it looks a lot better, plus it'll fit better on my shelves. And to create the candle part of this, I'm going to be using some 12-volt LEDs. So what I need is a hole to get the LED wire through the bottom. So I just grabbed a stepper bit, put a fairly large hole, about an inch size hole in there, just so it'd be easy to run the wire through. And this hole was offset from where the spike sits in it. With the candle back inside, I just took a marker, drew a line on it where it hits the skull. And what I'm doing now is just taking that sanding bit again and going around the top edge of the candle, making it so it's not just a straight cut. I'm just giving it a little bit of randomness, make it look like it's a little more natural, like it's a melting candle. And doing this is pretty messy. I wasn't wearing my glasses, but if you're going to do it at home, you definitely want to have some eye protection. You could also take a heat gun too and heat up the end of the PVC and kind of smush it around a little bit. It just gives it a different look depending on what you're going for. After a little cleanup, I grabbed my hot glue gun and just put a couple little beads of hot glue between the skull and the candle holder. And this is just to hold the skull in place. Once the skull was attached, I needed to attach the PVC. I just ran a bead of hot glue around the PVC and the skull. Using this 1/2-inch foam that I have, I'm going to cut out a circle from it. So I just traced a line of the inner diameter of the pipe. What it'll do is create like a plug inside the candle, and it'll stop all the hot glue from dripping all the way down. And it also gives me a place to drill holes to add the LEDs to. And I've done this before with aluminum foil. You could use like a pool noodle, just pretty much anything. Piece of paper would work. Just something to shove in there and stop that glue from dripping all the way down and where you can create a solid surface. And I just took my razor blade and just carefully trimmed away. I didn't have to be that accurate because it's just going to be shoved in there and then covered up anyways. And to put this foam inside, what I did was I just shoved a pair of tweezers that I had. You could use anything. And this will just allow me to put it inside and not let the foam go all the way to the bottom of the candle. And then I just put a few dabs of hot glue on there. Once that had hardened up, I just pulled the tweezers out and then proceeded to add more hot glue to cover the foam and also get it set in place permanently. And now it's time to start making it look like a candle. So to add what looks like wax, dripping wax to the candle, I just took my hot glue gun again and started down towards the middle of the skull and worked my way up to the top of the PVC. And just proceeded to put beads all around the whole thing. I like to do it in multiple layers. Sometimes I go from the bottom up, sometimes from the top down. I just kept adding more and more beads, building up different layers letting it cool down a little bit and then going back and adding more. And just kept working my way around until I thought it looked good. I do like to put quite a few thick layers just around the outside, the rim of the candle, and just kind of let it naturally fall down too. Once I was happy with the way the drips were looking, I flipped it over and added some more glue to the gaps around the bottom, and this just helps hold it on there. It was pretty well stuck, but I wanted to kind of seal up the gaps a little bit. So I didn't really like the way the teeth were looking on this thing, just with the cheap skeleton teeth. So what I'm going to do here is just basically grind them off. I grabbed my Dremel tool with like a little metal burr bit on there, and just slowly worked my way around, grinding off the teeth, trying not to get into the gums too much. And what I have are these resin teeth from Amazon. I'll put a link to them down below. I use them on quite a few projects. A lot of times you can buy them and they're really cheap and small, but this brand that I found has decent sized teeth. They're not little tiny like baby teeth. And just taking my time and just pretty much ground off all the teeth. And this was, again, it's a messy process. You probably want to wear glasses. By the time I was done, I had pieces of plastic all over me. After a little cleanup, I grabbed this epoxy putty that I have. It's similar to JB Weld. So you just take a razor blade, cut off the amount you think you need, and just start massaging it together, work it around in your fingers, and eventually it becomes like a solid gray color instead of the streaks of white kind of disappear. And once it's all mixed up, I just take a little ball of it, push it up where I'm going to put that tooth, and just kind of make it look like it matches with the gums. When you take your tooth and push it in it kind of bulges out and looks kind of natural, like the gums would look like in real life. Then I just keep working my way around the mouth, just putting in one tooth at a time. I like to leave gaps or put them in crooked to make it look like it's just not a perfect set of teeth. You know, maybe look like a tooth was knocked out, or, you know, they just didn't really take care of their teeth at all. Once I had all the teeth in, I just grabbed my metal tweezers and just kind of went around and pushed down the epoxy just to smooth it out, make it look like I wanted it. And sometimes when you're grinding off the teeth, it'll leave like a gap in the plastic around the roof of the mouth. I took a little bit of epoxy and sealed those up as well. And now it's time to paint. So I took some khaki and a little bit of white and just mixed those together. So then I just painted on a good base coat over the entire thing, trying to get all the little gaps and cracks and crevices. And this will just give it a good starting point. I guess if you had like a white hot glue, you might not even need to do this at all. You could just leave the skull the color that it is, and then you got your white candle wax dripping down. And one thing that I did forget to do is normally when I make these, I will take a heat gun and run it over all of the hot glue, and it gets rid of all those little strings and bumps. I forgot to do that, so I had to pick out some of the pieces while I was painting it. And I did try to keep the paint off the teeth, so occasionally I'll wipe it off. It's not the end of the world if you get it on there, because it does scrape off pretty easy once it's dry. So for the next layer of paint, I just grabbed some white and I just dry brushed on top of the candle wax itself. I did hit some of the highlights on the skull, and what this is going to do is just help those highlights stand out when we get to the next few steps. After a little bit of dry time, I started mixing up a black wash, which is just black acrylic paint and a little bit of water. And then I went around the entire thing, just covered it heavily. I left the eyes and the nose pretty much black, but everywhere else I tried to wipe off everything. And this just leaves the black in all the little cracks and crevices and really helps that candle wax kind of pop out. And then to help give it a little bit of a dirty, kind of aged look, I just took this yellowish gold color and mixed a little black in there and just created another wash where I went around and did the same thing. Just put it on there, wipe it off. And this just helps build layers of color. You start with your base coat, add some highlights, then you add your shadows, and now you're just building off of that, adding different colors to it. And one thing I wanted to do was make these teeth look pretty nasty and kind of gross. So I just took my small brush and that yellow paint, and then just went around the teeth and the gums and put a little bit on and then wiped it off. And that just stuck into all the little cracks and just helped highlight the teeth. And I did put a little bit on the wax and stuff itself, not very much, but just in random spots. While everything was drying, I grabbed my box of LEDs that I have. These are all just 12-volt LEDs. I have a lot of different colors, so I was just testing to kind of see what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a red candle or green or something else, but I decided to just use the warm white color and keep it kind of natural looking. And all these LEDs I have are pre-wired with like a flicker module on it. So as soon as you give them power, they start flickering, and it just makes it really easy for, make it look like a natural candle. And I decided I wanted the flame part to be pretty bright, so I went with 3 LEDs inside the candle. I just drilled 3 holes, kind of evenly spaced from each other, and then I just fed those LEDs down through the candle and out the bottom. I had to use a little hook tool to get the wires to pull out. So I just grabbed my little 12-volt bench power supply with the alligator clips and clipped it up to all these LEDs. And I just made sure that it had the look that I was going for before I moved on to the next step. And like most of my projects, after I stare at it long enough, I decide to make a little change or do something different. Like something's not working out the way that I want it. So what I did was I went back with some of this white and just a real light dry brush over all the wax, trying to get that wax to pop out a little bit more. And then I took some of this metallic paint that I have, I think it was a dark bronze color, and just kind of dry brushed it over the base. And this just helped cover up some of the little drips of paint that I had on it, and as well as some of the rust that was already on the metal. A lot of that black still showed through, and this just kind of helped give it a little bit more of a metallic look that I was going for. When I was done with all the painting, it was time to move on to getting this thing wired up and finished up. So I took a 12-volt power supply that I have. You got to make sure that if you're using a 12-volt power supply, you have 12-volt LEDs. A lot of times LEDs that you buy are 3-volt or 6-volt, 24-volt. You gotta pay attention to what you're using with it, because you will, if the power supply is too high, you will burn them out. I've done that once or twice. So just cutting off the plug end, I just stripped down the 2 wires, and I did not have wire strippers that would cut the LED wires. They're really tiny, like a 30 gauge wire, I believe. So I just usually take a lighter and melt the end of it, and then just pull the plastic off with my fingers. Typically when I'm working with LEDs and wiring things up, I like to solder the joints together. But I bought these Wago connectors, and I've never really tried them, but wanted to give them a try for this project since it's going to be indoor. And basically all they are is just a little plastic connector with these clips on it. You just put the wire in and then clip it down. So it makes everything really simple to do. Once I had all the wires stripped, I just twisted them all together. I stuck them in the Wago connector and just snapped it down, and that was pretty much it. Just plugged it in, gave it a little test, and now that everything was working, I just shoved those Wago connectors up inside the skull and add a little hot glue just to hold them in place. And then once I had all the wires held up in there with a little bit of glue, I just had to make some space on my shelf. And with that, I'm going to call this project done, and here's what it looks like. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.